Hi, I'm Pat Coleman of D3Football.com, and we're here with Blaine Westemeyer of Augustana, the 2009 winner of the Gagliardi Trophy. And Blaine, offensive lineman from Augustana. As an offensive lineman, did you think you had a snowball's chance of winning this award?
I really didn't think that I had a chance to win this award. I obviously knew I was one of the top 10 finalists of the award, but because of the fact that I was an offensive lineman, and to be honest, the fact that our team did not make it into the playoffs this year, I just really didn't see myself as that player of the year. And so, when I was recognized as one of the final four finalists, it became more of a reality, but it was still a surprise when I heard the news, just because of the fact that I don't have any stats really.
Right.
And so it was a surprise, yeah.
As a lineman, I'd have to think that if you were shooting for a personal award, it would be, first team All-American. It would be to be, as you said, a finalist for a National Player of the Year trophy, because not only obviously has no offensive lineman ever won the Gagliardi Trophy, but never won the Harlan Hill Award in Division II, the Walter Payton Award for Division I FCS, and obviously never won the Heisman Trophy either.
Right. So obviously, as an offensive lineman, and expect to receive any of those honors. Our job is to make it possible for others to receive those honors through their play, and so we look for those other honors that aren't necessarily the best player on the field, but the best at that position. And so I've always looked at receiving. Well, if there's any attention to receive, I've looked at those places and those types of recognitions where we recognize who's the best offensive tackle, for example, but not the best player on the field.
What's it like playing offensive line at Augustana? And also, of course, you guys have been through a pretty significant transition in the offense over your 4 years there as well.
I'd agree. It depends on what year we're talking about, because freshman and sophomore year, I was part of the wing T system, and I came out of a 4-point stance pretty low and hard, and so that's a lot different than the last 2 years. We've run more of a spread offense, and I'm on 2 feet, 2-foot stance generally, and backing up a lot. So I've seen the whole spectrum of offense at Augustana College, and that has been kind of fun. I've enjoyed some aspects of both offenses. So I'd say, as a tackle at Augustana College, it has been my experience that the linemen try to do the best that they can at any scheme.
If we were to compare you to, say, the left tackle for Mount Union, Caleb Crowell, or Robbie Ustruck for Wisconsin Whitewater, you guys are not built similarly at all. I think they're a little bigger, they're a little bulkier, but you seem kind of more well tuned to what Augustana was doing, especially wing T-wise.
I think I would agree with you. I was probably more well built for a wing T-like offense. I'm not the heaviest guy. I'm about 6'3", and I was at 290 at my prime, I guess you could say.
Right.
So I was probably more in tune for a wing T type offense. But I think I've adjusted as well as I can. I think a lot of that has to do on the field, has to do with power, and power is strength times quickness, really. So if you're fast, then you can make up for lack of strength. So I've often on the field found that my speed often helps me out as much as the strength.
I think that's exactly how Sir Isaac Newton put it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Obviously, during the football season, the past 4 years, you have to be extremely busy. I mean, between a pre-med major, doing excessively well at that, 3.94 GPA, football practice, and then the other activities off the field. Kind of take us through what a typical week is like for you at Augustana.
Well, generally, during the season, it's a pretty busy week. You obviously have to sacrifice other things that you do when you had more time. So generally I'd say with film and practice and games on Saturday, it almost takes up to 30 hours of your week, and so you have to take advantage of the rest of the time to study for all of your classes. And I've said this before, but I found that I actually perform better in the classroom during the season because I find myself in a rhythm, in a schedule, managing my time better. And I often find that going onto the football field is often a nice stress reliever for what's going on in my academic studies. And it actually often works vice versa, where sometimes when it's a stressful week for football, I often find solace in the classroom. So I've enjoyed that aspect of being a student athlete a lot.
Walk us through the process now, applying to medical schools, and how's the timeline for that go, and where are you hoping to go, where are you applying?
Well, I'm almost done with the admissions process. I've interviewed at quite a few places, mostly in the Midwest, and still have a few left to attend. And I've heard back a few acceptances, and I don't know if I should say what they are.
I mean, you go right ahead.
It's funny. I didn't mean to do this, but I actually mostly applied to Big Ten schools. So,
okay. I'm a Midwest guy, so
really?
Big Ten schools are all right by me.
I agree. So,
if you're almost Michigan right there, maybe a little bit lighter on your gold, you'll be all right.
And actually, Michigan is one of the schools where I've been accepted so far, and so is the University of Iowa and the University of Kansas, Big 12 school. So I'm waiting to hear back from a few others. I'm just trying to sit on it. I've obviously been impressed with the schools I've seen so far, but trying to sit on everything right now and see what my gut says in a few months.
Tell us about some of the Estrellas, the process right now. You were down there practicing with the D3 All-Star seniors down in Mexico. Came up here to accept the award. You're going back down there. What's the attitude? What's the camaraderie like? How's it been going down there?
Well, yeah, it has been a crazy itinerary for me, coming back here and going back. But I did get to spend 2 full days with the team and the coaches down there, and it's been really fun so far, meeting people from a variety of schools all over the nation, Midwest, East Coast, West Coast, and so far the best part I think has been the practices. We've had clean, crisp practices. It's been a lot of fun to click with these guys, and so we actually have a pretty tough game coming up against this Tec de Monterrey University team, and so I think we'll be ready on Saturday. But it's been fun to get to know these guys. I've actually met a couple of these guys before, but there's a lot of great guys that I've just met in the past couple of days. So just enjoying.
You'll be playing alongside guys from North Central, for example, people who you would see on the opposite side.
Aaron Fanthorpe and Tim Janicek are there from North Central. I know a couple of guys from Central College already, and obviously you said I have 2 teammates from Augustana that are attending. So it's great to get to know guys that you've gone against in the conference and we're a little bitter with, but then you find out they're pretty good guys.
So what does the future of Augustana football look like? What does 2010 look like for them?
They obviously, I think they have great potential for 2010. Really, the only offensive lineman we're losing is me. I think they can step up in that regard.
Might be able to find somebody eventually.
Yeah. But we're returning our sophomore quarterback. I think he matured around the last year, returning plenty of our running backs and wide receivers, and we'll have some spots to fill in the defense, but obviously their destiny is in their hands this offseason. So I think if they want to reach their goals, they can reach them next year.
You have, of course, kind of, I guess, maybe finishing up the banquet circuit. The ceremony in New York is last week for the Campbell Award. Is that
yes.
Right? And tell us a little bit about that. I think this is the academic Heisman, formerly known as the Gagliardi Trophy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was one of 16 National Football Foundation Scholar athletes, and so we were invited to the Football Hall of Fame induction, and the giving of that William P. Campbell Trophy was during that induction, and it was a surreal experience to meet great coaches and great athletes of the past and current athletes and coaches. I and my family did a lot of hobnobbing throughout the event, and all of us really enjoyed it. I met a lot of great student athletes and now friends who I felt like I had a lot in common with. So.
Congratulations, first of all, on winning the Gagliardi Trophy, and then on providing hope for offensive line.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Pat.